from the Georgia Municipal Association 2022 Conference. I'm Catherine Glaspie. I'm your host again today. I had the honor of being the host last year, and they asked me to come back. And I've got my wonderful co-host, Nia, with me. Nia Williams, thank you for being back. And Robert Katniss, you are new to our set to this time.
Yes, I am. This is actually my first year here. It's fantastic. The energy in the room is really, really getting electric right now. I can't wait to get out there and start talking to some folks. It's, as I said, my first year. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to hear from some of your vendors. Nia, kind of give us an idea of who all's in the room.
So we have a mix of so many different vendors. I know one that he's definitely going to be talking to is someone with the Christmas tree here. So we're going to see about the lights, but of course other organizations that deal with playgrounds. GRPA is in the building. ACCG is here. So there's a whole lot of people that Robert's going to be able to talk to, and we're going to hear what they offer and what they have going on. So we're excited.
It is very exciting. And besides that, we're also going to have some people here on set with us interviewing. Larry from GMA is going to be here. He's going to be up in a few minutes. He is the CEO and Executive Director of GMA. We're also going to have Becky Taylor with us. And then a little bit later, we're going to have a cast of characters to talk about GMA training, which is really kind of exciting. I was previewing a video that you guys have shot, and that was like one of the things that people are like the most excited about is getting that training, whether it's something like open meetings to taxation to, there's some more fun things out there too.
Yeah.
So they're all really excited about meeting other people here, getting these classes, seeing what all these vendors have to offer. It's a really exciting time here in the hall.
And I think that's the most exciting thing that people look forward to every year is coming and connecting with people from other cities, being able to share ideas, learn new things to be able to take back to their cities and just help be able to cultivate more.
Right. I mean, Robert and I are kind of on the county side because we're here in Chatham County, so we're on the county side of things instead of the city side.
We're the home team.
But one of the things that I love when we go to our conferences is to talk to other people from other counties, because what problems I have in my county are probably something that they have in theirs, and to find their approach to how they fix it.
It works for you.
It is something for me to take back home. And that translates to whether you're a city or a county.
Yes.
And so I think that's one of the wonderful things about a conference like this is that you get to see what's working for other people, and sometimes you see what's not working for other people, and you go, okay, I'm going to leave that over there.
Right.
So that's really cool. Robert, I know you got to get out to the floor.
I can't wait to get out there. I'm going to be talking to some folks, and we're going to bring it to you as soon as I get over there.
All right,
So
go skedaddle.
excited.
Nia, so GMA, they've been around since 1933.
Yes.
Long time.
Really long time.
And the conference has been here in Savannah exclusively since 1987. Again, a very long time. Savannah and Chatham County are so happy to have them come every year. But they serve 538 cities.
537.
37. There's 537. Thank you for the correction. Cities throughout our state.
Yes.
That's a lot
incredible.
of governments.
Yes.
That's a lot of people and a lot of residents.
Yeah.
You're not a stranger to GMA.
I'm not at all. I'm like I don't want to say a GMA veteran, but I guess you could say that maybe.
I mean, you've obviously worked a couple conferences, but that isn't your only connection.
It's not.
Your family is like legacy.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So my dad is Vince Williams. He's this year's immediate past president and the current NLC president. And so
for those of us that don't know what NLC is,
National League of Cities.
Thank
You're
you.
right. I really get caught up. Like sometimes I'll tell people GMA and they'll be like, "Good Morning America." Like, oh no. Just Georgia Municipal Association.
Yeah.
Just as important though. But yes, so being involved through him, it's completely changed my life. being able that now I work in a municipality, working with the city of Douglasville, it's just like it's ingrained in me, and I love what I do. I love, as my dad calls it, being a public servant. So it's what I live for. I love it.
That's awesome. I mean, I think that's great when it's just a part of who you are, and you've got a servant's heart. So it's obviously something that is inherited to have that servant's heart. And that's awesome. What probably is like your most exciting thing that you are seeing or doing in this conference this year?
Honestly, I am always excited about this portion and being able to see like the different vendors, because I feel like there's always a new one every year. I'm always used to some of the same cast of characters that I know that are going to see here, but it's always that one that's just like, wow, like this is a new vendor. The service that they offer is incredible. So I'm always excited to see what's that new one that I'm going to see this year.
That's awesome. Now, do you actually get to attend classes while you're here, or are you doing more public relations duties?
It's more public relations duties.
Okay.
But if I get put on photo duty, having to take pictures in sessions, I kind of sit down and listen and hear, what the session has to say.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some really good sessions out there.
Yes, really interesting topics, really interesting speakers that have a lot of knowledge. So it's a lot to soak up.
And as I remember, they're here for 4 days. People came in yesterday for some pre-classes.
Yes.
And then
I think they'll wrap up on Monday, either Monday, I
think it's Monday.
Yeah.
It's either Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday.
I know that there's like a big ceremony tomorrow.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
There's going to be the opening session and then the general session.
Okay.
And so I know, not to speak about him again, but I know my dad is speaking at the one on Monday. But there are going to be some other speakers as well. So it's going to be really exciting.
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure I'm going to maybe Larry will tell you a little bit more about the general session and give you a little more of a spiel. So I'll save that for him.
So Larry is coming up after we go and visit some of our vendors. I know you're going to go join Robert out there.
I am.
You're producing for him.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
And he is already at his first vendor, so we're going to let you go catch up with them.
All right.
Robert is over at Universal Concepts, and he told me I couldn't steal his line, so I won't.
We'll leave that to him.
Take it away, Robert.
That's right, Catherine. Please don't steal my line, because this is Christmas in June here at Universal Concepts, and I'm standing with the owners, Greg and Lori, and you guys are from Cumming, Georgia.
That's right.
Okay, and talk to me a little bit about what you want folks to know. We were just talking, Lori, off camera, about how many of the cities in Georgia you all service. It's amazing. Tell me about that.
Well, since 1980, back in the day, we didn't have fax machines. We certainly didn't have cell phones. You had to get in the car, you had to go see everybody, you had to knock on the door, and I have been to every city in town in Georgia, probably multiple times through the years. I have no idea how many that we actually have sold to, but it's a lot. We've got just file drawers full of clients that we've worked with.
And you haven't been doing this for a year or two. It's been how long?
Since 1980. Yes.
1980.
42 years, and we've been doing this show since about 1980. So us and Waste Management are the two longest lasting vendors in the show. But it's been a great show for us. Cities and towns come here to try to find, back in the day, again, you didn't have the internet.
Right.
So you had to come to trade shows to see what was out there. So we've just continued on. But it's been successful. It's been really good.
You guys are located in Cumming, Georgia.
Cumming, Georgia. Yes, sir.
And you have been for the entire?
Yes, sir. We've had the same phone number for the whole time.
Is that right?
Can you imagine that? Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, your client list is vast. You said that you've been to almost every city.
Yeah.
Your products kind of speaks for itself.
Appreciate that.
What do you want folks to know about what you do and why it's important that they should stop by Universal Concepts?
Well, there's a couple things. One is we're USA manufacturer, so we don't have a lot of the supply chain issues that are going on around the world. Everybody has to import the bulbs themselves, but we actually manufacture the product here in the States. And we've got a superb product. Our quality is up there. We've got clients that have had our product for 20 plus years now, and they're still using it. Okay. Lasts a little too long probably, but that's a benefit of going with a high quality product.
And as I said, we talked about how you guys are located in Cumming. How can folks get a hold of you if they're not at the trade show today or tomorrow, and they want to get a hold of you? phone number, website, I'm sure you guys have. Lori, tell me about that.
Please visit and check out our website, christmasdecorandmore.com. And our 1-800 number is 1-800-522-0718.
And that website one more time?
christmasdecorandmore.com.
The great people here of Universal Concepts. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me. Good luck this weekend, and best of luck with your business.
Thank you, sir.
All right?
Thank you.
We are going to walk around, actually. The next place that we're headed to is the Gov App. Follow me this way. And as you can see, there's a lot of people coming out of the classes right now. Energy in the room is really kind of picking up pretty good. And we're going to stop at this booth right here to talk to the good folks of the GovApp.com. How are you, William?
Well.
Robert from Chatham County here. Talk to me a little bit about what the Gov App is and why folks need to know about you.
Okay. So the Gov App and our parent company, OCV LLC, are custom mobile app developers that serve municipal governments, county governments, police departments, municipal fire departments, and we've deployed apps throughout Georgia for agencies like the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, Covington Fire Department, which I'm real proud of, a fire app, City of Jonesboro, Albany Police Department is deploying an app with us.
No kidding.
Have started to talk to the Department of Public Safety and also the Atlanta Police Department. So needless to say, we've been really encouraged by the response. There's a need for communication via an app with citizens. So that's what
And you feel that this service actually bridges that gap between public safety per se?
Yes, it does. This technology, this communication technology, engages citizens so that they can communicate back through the app. And every app we build is custom built around that agency's needs with a variety of different features depending on what the city services are. So it is a very exciting technology, and it's really taken off in Georgia.
Where are you guys located?
We're based out of Auburn, Alabama, Opelika, Alabama area. So we are a local company in that way, pretty regionally based. And I office out of the Suwannee area, so Gwinnett County. But I've worked across the state of Georgia. Tift County Sheriff's Office is building an app. So we've worked with a lot of South Georgia clients as well. And we love to work with small towns, small cities. This can really help small towns become more efficient in the service it delivers to citizens. So yeah, very value added.
Talk about that, because there's so many, over 400 cities in Georgia, and now you're located in Auburn. Talk about the benefits of a smaller city, how they can take advantage of something like this more so than like Gwinnett County or.
And we scale our pricing for smaller towns so that they can have big city technology at a price that a small town can afford, a small city can afford. So, but the technology bridges because you're able to provide a lot of service and convenience to pay utility bills, rec department sign up, building permits. If you do have fire service, police service, all those things can be built into an app that provides service and engagement with the citizens so that they can get business done via the app.
And you bring up a really good point. Talk about engagement, because right now, and whether it be any municipality government, community engagement is key, correct?
Oh, it is, and it's been impacted. Let's be honest, the past 2 years impacted. That sort of face-to-face has been permanently impacted. So that being known, and that being known about the risks of future pandemics, it's certainly a risk that's possible, we've learned. That having the ability to do business with customers under those circumstances, I think is key. And also for folks who are older, being able to do business on the app so they don't have to drive down to City Hall like they've been doing.
That's right.
Or a building permit that can be done on the app rather than the building construction manager coming to the city office. So a lot of efficiency built for the city.
It opens a lot of doors to a lot of different people.
Possibilities are endless, and it's all wrapped around that city's needs, that what they're leaning into. So I'm very excited.
Tell the folks who are watching this right now or who are going to see this where you guys are located and how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And phone numbers, emails, website.
Yeah. So the best way to get me would be at my email, and it would be W, and I'm going to spell it out, WENGLEDOW at that's myocv.com.
And that's the best way they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, or my telephone number, 478-444-3329.
Perfect.
So that's my primary number.
Anything folks need to know who are seeing this now or who might want to watch this later on, anything they need to know about Gov App?
I think the most important takeaway is that 94%, and this I'm going to say to the municipal leaders, 94% of your citizens have a smart device on them at all times. They spend 90% of their time in a mobile app. This is where your citizens currently get local information. It's time to be where your audience is.
Exactly. Can't thank you enough. The good people here at the Gov App, check them out. One more time, your email, one more time.
Yeah, W. Ingledow, that's WENGLEDOW at myocv.com.
And phone number one more time.
478-444-3329.
William with the Gov App. Check this gentleman out. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Appreciate
Good luck this weekend. We are now headed to Play South Playground. We're going to be talking to Peter. Come follow me. We're going this way. We're going to try to weave our way through the people here. As you can tell, it's really a good crowd. I think Catherine mentioned that Savannah has been hosting this for the past over 20 years, and it always brings a pretty good crowd, as you can see. We're making our way. I'm going to talk to my beautiful producer who's going to show me where I need to go, and we're going to be talking to some good folks at Play South Playground. Let's see if we can find them. We've got a lot of vendors in here, more than 100, I would say. There's more than 100 vendors. And, it's everything you would need in a municipal government and everything that you would really want to really reach more people, because that's what it really comes down to. Is as a government, you want to communicate with the folks, tell them your message, and make sure that you have the tools to do it. And we're going to be talking to Peter. Peter, Robert, how are you, sir? Good to meet you. Talk to me a little bit about Play South Playground creators.
Well, we like to think of ourselves as the best playground company there is. We offer great customer service and a fantastic product. We kind of walk you through the whole process from beginning to end, planning, designing, all the way through the installation and customer service afterwards.
Your product kind of speaks for itself.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. What kind of feedback have you been getting from your clients that reach out to you?
Feedback as far as the quality, or
yes,
we offer all kinds of different products, a lot of inclusive ADA accessible things that everybody likes to see in their playgrounds. But our customer service, I think, is what it really takes care of it. We have a great product, like I said, and cost of ownership with us and the things that we do are.
Where are you guys located?
We cover the whole state of Georgia.
You do?
Okay. We're located out of Atlanta. Most of us are on the northern side of the state, but we cover the whole state.
And your client base, I would assume, is
all
pretty
over.
big.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
over the state.
Yeah, all kinds of cities all over the state, county, parks and rec and churches.
Perfect. What percentage would you say your business is, maybe municipal governments, as far as maybe, like you said, churches?
I would say our number one customer would be Parks and Recreation, or in schools. That's kind of our schools is probably one or two, Parks and Recreation, and then obviously the cities and county governments that we work with. About half of our business through municipalities.
And the most important thing is, Peter, tell the folks who are seeing this, who are watching this now, who are going to see this later on, how can they get a hold of you, and what's the best way?
The best way to get a hold of me is to give me a call. Our website is playsouth.net. They can call me. My number is 470-306-8653. And you can email me at peterj@playsouth.net.
do that phone number one more time because that's probably the easiest way.
470-306-8653.
Can't thank you enough,
thanks
Peter.
so much, guys.
Good luck.
Appreciate all the GMA does for us.
You bet. Good luck this weekend, and I hope things work for you. Awesome. Okay, we are headed now. We're going to be walking around. Let's see what we've got going on this way. Let's see if we can talk to somebody. We're going to make sure that we get the right person to talk to. I can't tell you the amount of people that are here, and we're kind of working our way through the crowd. You've got everything you could possibly want when you're talking about municipal government or needs, okay? And here, for example, this is Keckwood. Keckwood Collaboration by Design. Can I get one of you guys to talk to me?
I did it last time.
Sam.
I'm happy to do it. Hey.
Sam, how are you? Robert.
Good to see you. Robert, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Talk to me a little bit about Keckwood. What do you do and why do you do it?
So me personally, I do it because I love math, right?
Okay.
But I also love people. So we're an engineering firm, so I get to kind of couple my love for engineering and helping communities grow, helping communities achieve all the things they want to achieve for their people that live in their cities. So.
Now, Sam, I want you to talk to me like I'm a fifth grader.
Okay.
What does Keckwood do?
Okay, so we are civil engineers. So we do water, sewer, natural gas, water sewer treatment, transportation, so roads. Mm-hmm. We do site development, stormwater, trails, parks and rec. So really everything that you see around you from your eye level down, mm-hmm. That's a civil engineer. All the infrastructure. So you drove to get here on a road. That was how we would design that. If you walked here on a sidewalk is how we got here. When it rains and the storm's got to go somewhere, mm-hmm. That's where it goes. When you flush a toilet, that's where it goes. We did that too. So civil engineering. Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about where you guys are located and how has that kind of like helped maybe you manifest your business?
Absolutely. So our corporate office is in Duluth, Georgia. Mm-hmm. We have an office in Fayetteville, Georgia as well. Two other offices in South Carolina. But really, with our corporate office being in Duluth, it's kind of, it's more of a suburb of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But we really feel like we are able to serve clients really anywhere within an hour drive of any of our offices because we really pride ourselves in being boots on the ground mm-hmm. for our clients. So you call us, we're just a phone call away. We'll come take a look and see if we can work together on a plan to fix whatever problem they have. So really anything within an hour of where we're at, we're happy to serve you.
So it sounds like you're pretty comprehensive. I mean, you guys do everything
Absolutely.
Across the spectrum.
We have a lot of nerdy engineers at our office, that is for sure. Yes, we do.
And that obviously makes for you doing what you do as good as you do, correct?
Yeah, well, it always helps. So I don't pretend to know everything. But I have an office full of people that I can walk down the hallway mm-hmm. and knock on their door, and chances are somebody in my office knows how to fix whatever problem somebody's come to me for. So mm-hmm. It does help to have a team of experts in their field in our office.
How big is your team, actually?
We've got about 60 people across our 4 offices. Yep.
And you said 4 offices.
4 offices.
But where spread throughout the state?
So 2 in Georgia, Fayetteville, Georgia, Duluth, Georgia, and then mm-hmm. 2 in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Whereabouts in South Carolina?
Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is a suburb of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's on the north side.
Oh, you're north.
Upstate,
okay.
And then one in North Charleston.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Great. Okay,
absolutely.
So you got the 4 corners going.
So when I'm in the mood for seafood, I just happen to make a visit to that office.
Everybody likes a Low Country boil, don't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Talk about how folks can get a hold of you, Sam, and website, phone number, all that
good
stuff.
Our website is keckwood.com, Keckwood.com.
Okay.
And we've got all of our information on there, and our main office number for our corporate office is 678-417-4000.
Come and check these guys out, Keckwood Keckwood Collaboration and Design. Sam's the man with a plan.
Appreciate you.
I thank you
so
for
much
taking the
for
time to talk to us. As you can see, we have a lot of people here that can offer so much to any municipality, government, any government, whatever your needs, whether it's design, whether it's engineering, and we're going to have to, right now, toss it back to Catherine because I know, Catherine, you've got a special guest that you really want to talk to today, correct?
I actually have 3 guests in the house right now. So thank you, Robert. We're going to catch up with you again in a few minutes. Welcome back to the Live in the Hall set, and I've got guests. I'm so excited. I've got guests. Becky Taylor with GMA. You are the Director of Federal Relations and Research.
That's correct.
Okay, that was that's almost as big of a mouthful as my actual title, but we won't go into that today. So you are actually here with guests as well.
Yes.
Reggie and Karen, you guys are from USDA World Development, right?
Rural Development, yes, ma'am. Yes,
all right, I'm trying to get all these titles right. So if I screw something up, just correct me, all right?
No problem.
So, Becky, it's been a crazy year in federal relations. Tell me a little bit about some of the stuff that you're working on.
Absolutely. Well, it's an unprecedented time, really, because there's so much federal funding flowing down to local governments in Georgia. So we're very excited to have this opportunity. But it's a lot. Between the American Rescue Plan Act and the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, BIL has almost 400 different programs, and some of them are still coming out, and they will continue to roll out throughout the year.
Right.
But the reason that I wanted to have Reggie and Karen here today is to talk to folks about some opportunities that are going to be really of interest, especially to rural local governments in Georgia, and those of you that have not applied for federal funds before really need to tap into this. And this is a great chance for you to build the future for your communities. And these folks want to help get this money out the door, so they want to help you tap into it. And if it's okay, I mean, I'll just turn it over to these guys and let them talk.
Thank you. Reggie Taylor with USDA Rural Development. We're stationed here in Athens, Georgia, and that is our headquarters. We've got a host of over 40 different programs to assist rural communities. And today we're just going to share a few of them with you this morning, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely, please.
Good deal. So the first one I want to talk a little bit about is our community facilities program, or our community programs. Those are really generated to help communities with emergency vehicles, building facilities, and those type of infrastructure type projects. Mm-hmm. We also have our water and waste program, which is awesome, helping communities get clean and fresh drinking water. And Karen's going to share a little bit about our business programs, but I got to tell you, we are very busy. There's a lot of need out there, and I can just tell you right now, we're ready for it. So.
Yeah, and I know, some of the things that you just mentioned are so important. I just was sitting in an ARPA meeting, the American Rescue Plan meeting, for my county. And one of the hottest topics was to make sure that we were getting into communities that needed fresh drinking water, or there may have been some infrastructure problems. Tell me a little bit more about what you guys have grants for, and then we'll come over to Karen.
Sure. So during one of the things that we do is we have some grants for our water and waste, and we also have some grants for our community facilities. Typically, those grants for community facilities, we work with communities to do police cars and emergency vehicles and that kind of thing. Depending on population and income, we can give you a grant for water and waste. So that's kind of a mixed bag of a loan and some grant.
Right.
But it is so helpful. The interest rates were really low. They're still pretty low right now.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to do a project, please look at us and consider us. So Karen will share a little bit more about her programs and business.
Yes.
I'm Director of Business Programs, and we mainly work with for-profit, where community programs works with nonprofits and public bodies. But we do have one program, the Rural Business Development Grant, that is where they can apply and help a small emerging business. It's a grant for the public body to turn around and help that small emerging business. It can also be something like a parking lot to bring people to downtown areas where there's stores that are still maybe suffering because there's not that extra parking area in the downtown area. So that's something that we can do through our business programs. But again, we do a lot with our for-profits. So some of the economic developers in these counties and cities could look into our programs. We really got an emphasis right now on food, supply chain, guaranteed loan. We've got meat and poultry prices, trying to help with our food supply chain that's suffering right now in our stores. So that's something that we can do. And I am located in Athens, but anyone can get our information off the website, our USDA Rural Development.
Okay, what's the website again?
rd.usda.gov. .gov. And you can look, we have multiple programs, single-family housing, multifamily housing, but for our community programs, we've got a lot of activity right now in that program. And some of the interest rates, as they go up, our program is very beneficial to these cities and counties.
For sure,
So,
definitely.
Give me an example of like who should apply for something like that, and maybe why they would apply.
Okay, so for a rural business development grant, the public body would be like a city or a county that has a development. They got to have ability to do the project. So let's say you have a business that wants to move into your area. They need water and sewer run to the business. They could put in, the city or whoever's running that system could put in for a grant to have it actually extended to that new business.
Okay.
So that helps them out. It's not a grant direct to the small business. It's mainly assistance to get them up and started.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
So, thank you guys so much for being here.
Sure.
I can't tell you how much that I learned just in this little segment. I will be looking into you guys a little bit more, just so that I have that resource in my bank. Becky, we're getting ready to wrap this up. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
I would just encourage everybody who's here in Savannah for the convention to stick around Monday. We've got a couple of three great sessions that I want to make sure everybody knows about. We referenced the American Rescue Plan Act a little while ago. We've got some ARPA communities that are going to be sharing their stories about what they're doing with those funds. Great examples for everyone. And then later Monday morning, we've got 2 concurrent sessions where we're going to talk about some of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act programs, including those for transportation, broadband, and energy and water and sewer. So with GFAS. So make sure to come by.
Those are all hot topics right now for government. So I know that from CNR folks. So right now we're going to go back out to Robert on the floor. He's with the Carl Vinson Institute. Robert, you out there?
Thank you.
Hey, Catherine, that's right. I'm here with UGA's Carl Vinson Institute, and I'm with Sarah Lynn Stafford. Sarah Lynn, how are you, and how is things going today?
Wonderful. We've got a really nice crowd, a lot of friendly people, and I'm seeing a lot of old friends and making some new ones today.
And you came all the way down from Athens.
Yes, our office is up in Athens, part of the University of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Go Dogs.
That's right, go Dogs. How about them dogs?
That's right.
Talk to me about what you think folks should know that's important that the Carl Vinson Institute does.
Well, our primary focus is on serving local governments, and our real mission is to help local governments succeed. Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of things from training, like we're training at this conference. We have about 50 people down here doing various classes. We also do facilitation for county and city commissions to help them do their planning. It's really important to help them do their jobs as well as they can.
That's right. And the reception that you've been getting, you say you've been seeing some old friends and meeting some new ones.
Yeah.
But talk to me about the reception you've been getting from some of the new ones about the commit to excellence in government.
They come over and they want to know, well, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. And it really means that do the best that you can personally and do the best in a team. So here's all these resources, it's all this information we can give you, all the ways that we can help you be your best city council person.
Right.
So any way we can help. We have leadership training, we have finance manager training, city clerk training. I mean, if it's a function of local government, we have developed the expertise to help people understand how to do it best.
We were talking a little bit off camera about how you are in Athens, but you really have offices and reach all over the state. Obviously, you'd have to if you're going to, provide services for the folks that are in need.
Right. Myself, I live in Douglas, Coffee County, and cover a lot of South Georgia. My specialty is community development. So I work with local communities on economic development programs primarily.
Okay.
But I also teach economic development, and I teach Development Authority board member training. So what are they allowed to do as a member of a development authority? How do they do it the right way? And we've got about 500 people overall out in the state.
Really?
Because we're part of the overall public service and outreach of the University of Georgia.
You know, when we talked a little bit about how you all are almost like a guide or a safety net for municipal governments to kind of steer them in a way that you think is best and really will help ultimately provide a better government for the community.
Exactly. You know, people are elected for a finite period of time usually, and they come into it with the desire to serve, but not necessarily the tools that they need to do it in the right manner. So we're kind of the repository of all of that information on how to do this, what do you need to know, what's legal, what's not.
Right.
And so we can help them get up to speed faster.
Right.
And we pull in a lot of the people who are very experienced in municipal government to provide that help.
You know, we're talking with Sarah Lynn Stafford with the Carl Vinson Institute of the UGA, Go Dogs. If folks want to get a hold of you, if they're not here this weekend, how can they get a hold of you? Maybe a website, phone number?
Yeah, well, they can get in touch with us by cbiog.uga.edu.
That's
Find
simple.
out all about us. Yeah.
That's simple.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough, Sarah Lynn, for taking the time to talk to me today.
Glad to do it.
I'm going to actually toss it back to you, Catherine, because I understand that you have another guest sitting right next to you.
All right. Well, we're back here on set at Live in the Hall from the 2022 GMA convention. And I've got Larry Hansen with me. You are the CEO and Executive Director of GMA. Thank you for being here on set with me first. So how long have you been, well, this is a two-part question.
Okay.
How long have you been the CEO and Executive Director of GMA? And then follow that up with how many conventions have you come to for GMA?
Okay. Well, I was very privileged to be appointed the GMA Executive Director in 2017. So this is my 5th year, and it's great to be here again. But as you said, I have actually been coming to the convention since 1995. I served as city manager for the city of Valdosta, Georgia, and attended convention every year because I realized how beneficial it was to me as a professional and also to the elected officials I served in that city. So yes, I've been a regular here for a long time, and it's always great to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you guys have been coming to Savannah since 1987 exclusively. I'm a little bit biased. This is home for me, so I think you've picked a great city to come to. But it's great for a convention. And, you know, last year was my first year doing Live in the Hall and coming to GMA. And just the energy in this room is amazing, and having all these people together. How many cities are member cities?
Well, actually, every city in Georgia is a member of GMA, and we're a membership organization, so they have that choice. They're not required to be, but we're very proud that we represent all 537 cities in Georgia.
That's amazing.
And our attendance this year is record-setting. We're well over 2,000. We expect to end up somewhere around 2,200. And with that number, we are actually Savannah's largest convention. So our city officials love Savannah. We love being here. The community treats us well. And we're excited about this year's convention as we are each and every year.
That is amazing. I mean, I didn't realize that you guys were the largest convention that we had came here. That's fantastic. I know, I mean, this facility is a great place for you guys to come. So tell me a little bit about this year's conference. What can attendees expect from this year's conference?
Well, you know, each year we try and have a different theme, and it's often around what's going on in the world as well as what our cities are dealing with. And these last few years have been difficult. We have dealt with a pandemic. We've dealt with struggles in the economy. Our citizens have been affected by it. And so this year we felt we really wanted to pick a positive thing and build a program around that. And so this year our theme is Georgia Cities Lighting the Way, Leading the Future. And we really feel like that's what cities are. They're lights of hope and lights of dreams, and that they are leading the way towards a bright future for Georgia. So we built a program around that. We're excited about that program, and our members love coming not only for the formal training that they get in classroom setting, but from learning from each other. You know, some of the most important learning we do is outside the classroom. It's in the halls, it's in the receptions, it's having lunch with people from different communities. It's learning about successes, it's learning about challenges, it's learning about failures and how we deal with that, because most everything that a city has experienced, some other city has already been through that. So this is important from a number of aspects. Training is a big part of it. And we actually increased our number of training seats this year by over 500.
Oh,
so
wow.
Our city officials are very hungry to receive the best in training so that they can take it home and make their communities a better place to live, work, and play.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, when we started out the show, Nia and I were kind of talking about that and how the networking is so important and learning from people that are in the trenches like you are. And, you know, I can go to a conference and have a consultant come in and teach a class, which is great. They're fabulous. But if I can hear it from somebody who's had to go through it just like I have, and I can hear their pitfalls and avoid those pitfalls, or help me get through those pitfalls, that's even better. So I think that kind of training that you guys are putting on is absolutely amazing. I know that you're actually launching 2 new programs during this conference. One is the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and the other is the Community Police. Tell me a little bit about those.
Sure. Well, we appointed a commission of 26 members, city officials, that spent 18 months writing a program which was adopted now as a formal report on our effort to stand up an equity and inclusion program through our commission of city leaders. That program was adopted unanimously by our 63-member board, and now we're implementing that program. We've hired a full-time director of equity and inclusion. He has already trained over 5,000 city officials this year alone. And it's a service we're offering to help our cities and help our communities so that we all are more sensitive to making sure that all citizens feel a sense of belonging in their community. And we're doing a lot in the education in the ways of hiring practices and, you know, many other areas. But equity and inclusion is a big part of what we do. We've now handed that off to an ongoing advisory council. And so we're kicking that off here, and we'll have the first set of cities that will complete their participation in a certificate program at next year's convention. The second program you mentioned is our Excellence in Policing initiative. And we felt like with the events that have transpired in the country and in states and in cities over the last years, that we decided to look at policing from a goal of achieving a positive outcome. And we felt like, what is the goal when it comes to policing? It's excellence. It's trying to create an excellence in policing, because the goal is to provide high quality public safety and public service to citizens and have fewer bad outcomes. So this too will be a certificate program where they will receive, police officials and city leaders will receive the highest training, learning more about good hiring practices, good disciplinary practices, providing training to them in areas that are causing problems such as use of force and de-escalation. And so at the end of that program, they get a certificate that will actually help them get a reduction on their insurance premiums, but also make a statement to their community that they have chosen to voluntarily commit themselves to higher ideals in law enforcement. So we're real excited about both of those initiatives.
They're both incredible initiatives. I can't wait to talk to you next year
about
how it's gone throughout the year. I know tomorrow is opening session, general session. Tell us what we're going to see there, and do we have any special guests?
Well, we do, and certainly we're always, our opening session is our most well-attended event, and tomorrow will be no exception. We're very honored that Governor Kemp will be with us tomorrow to make comments to our city officials, and Georgia's having a lot of success right now, and he's here to share that. And certainly our cities are interested in the leadership from the state capitol and particularly from the governor's office, and we want to be a good partner because when cities prosper, the state prospers. And so we are partners in progress. We're looking forward to hearing from the governor tomorrow. And then we also have a keynote speaker, Mr. Steve Pemberton, and we built our theme around that. He is going to talk about lighthouses and how certain people have been a lighthouse in his life that have inspired him to excel. And he's going to challenge everybody in the audience to become a lighthouse in someone else's life. and be a difference in someone else's life. And we can all do that. It's a simple thing that we can do each and every day of our life, is set as an example and help someone else achieve their goals and aspirations by being a beacon of light and a beacon of hope for them. So our opening session, we also are giving a Key Citizen Award to a very distinguished member of this state. It's sort of a surprise, but we only do that about once a decade, so it's the highest honor GMA has, the Key Citizen Award, and we'll be giving that out tomorrow as well, and we hope everybody will be there to see who that honoree is.
Oh, wow, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to wrap up here because I know that we're going to need to go back out on the floor, but what if I were a city leader coming here, what would I expect to be the most important thing that I get out of this conference?
Well, you know, one thing that's been interesting about politics is in recent years, there has been a lot of change and turnover. This year, there were about 500 new local elected officials in Georgia, including 77 new mayors. So most of those are here, and so part of our job is to make sure we help them get the training they need to become the best local elected official and leader that they can be. And part of that is in the classroom and with great instructors, and part of it is learning from each other. So we always are proud to have those seasoned veterans that have been coming for many years, but also we feel an obligation to help those that are new to public service so that they can achieve great things. But we think with the combination of keynote speakers, of formal certificate training, of classroom-style learning, of committees that we have where they can pick around their interests, whether it's public safety or community development or economic development, we have something for everyone. And we know this is going to be a great convention. It already is. And as you said, our members are excited, they're enthusiastic about being here, and we're looking forward to getting the opening session kicked off tomorrow.
Well, I'm really excited for you guys. This is just amazing. Every time I'm here and I'm looking at this, like I said, the energy in the room right now is just off the charts. So thank you for taking the time to come and talk to us today. I know you have a ton of things to do, so we're going to let you go. We're going to go back out onto the floor. Robert, I know you're at Republic Services. What have you got for us now?
That is correct, Catherine. We are at Republic Services, and I'm standing here with Monica. Monica, how are you today?
Doing great.
And
you?
I am doing well. Talk to me a little bit about Republic Services.
Sure.
And what you all do.
So we are a waste and recycling company nationally and locally, and we provide waste disposal for municipals and for regular folks like, chain companies or whatnot that need disposal and recycling options.
Now, you were kind of educating me a little bit about this, which I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at the sign, and it's residential, commercial, and industrial, right?
Correct.
And you handle all three.
All three.
And if you've got it, you'll get rid of it.
That is correct. We will dispose of it.
What has the convention, what has this meant to you guys, and how's it going so far?
Oh, it's going excellent, and it means the world because we are able to connect with our community and provide services, recycling, and waste services that are needed for the environment.
And you bring up a good point. Talk about how you guys have had to maybe, change with the times to do the environmental thing.
That is correct. So we're very conscious about environmental because Republic does own landfills, transfer stations, so we are very cognizant and make sure that we run efficiently and environmentally sound.
Gotcha. And we were talking a little bit about where you guys are located. You are nationwide.
Yes.
But where are you in Georgia?
So in Savannah. We have location in Savannah and Atlanta. If you think of Georgia, we're in all three parts. We're south, middle, and metro.
So you got the whole state covered?
The whole state covered.
And your main hub is in Atlanta, I think you were saying?
We have a main hub in Atlanta. We have several landfills there, transfer stations there, but in middle Georgia and south Georgia as well.
Real quick, a question, because I think on a lot of folks' minds is, not only recycling, but being green.
Yes.
Can you talk about how Republic has maybe added or made things a little bit better or easier for folks to either recycle, or what are you doing that can offer a green alternative?
So, good point there. We do offer recycling services for the commercial customer from the municipality customer, and they can it's called all-in-one, and you can put all your recyclable materials for instance, inside a cart, and we can pick it up. We usually do it every other week.
Gotcha.
Because that's environmentally more friendly.
Gotcha.
And then same with the commercial, cardboard recycling, compactors or open tops, cardboard recycling, or all-in-one recycling.
Now, like you said, you guys are nationwide, but for folks who may be watching this or unable to attend this event, how can they get a hold of you, and what's the best way?
Sure. Monica Mosley, or it's M. Mosley at republicservices.com, 404-202-1536, or if they want nationally, it's www.republicservices.com.
Perfect. One more time with that phone number?
404-202-1536.
How many times have you said that today?
For 28 years I've been saying that number.
Monica, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
And we are going to, thank you again, we're going to walk this way and we're going to check out 2 more vendors before I toss back to Catherine. Next up is New Line Skate Parks. And I'm going to be talking to the man, Everett, right here. Everett, how are you, sir?
Good, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Talk to me. I have a feeling you have something to do with recreation and parks and leisure.
Something to do, yeah. I believe, we're a skate park design and build firm. We build all over North America, all over the world. I believe that skate parks and action sport parks, because of course it's not just for skateboarding, it's for bikes, it's for scooters, rollerblades, roller skates. This is one of the most accessible forms of recreation that is out there, because there's no formal registration, there's no sign-up fee. Cost of equipment is relatively low. Once these spaces are built, kids can just access them on their own time, from their own will, and utilize it. You can drive through a lot of communities. You'll see empty sport courts, playgrounds, pickleball courts.
Right.
The skate park will never be empty. I can guarantee that. Yeah.
Where are you guys located? And obviously you do serve the entire Georgia area.
Yeah, absolutely. Our head office is based out of Florida, Edgewater, Florida.
Okay.
We've got offices in San Diego, and then 3 offices across Canada. So we literally work all over North America, as well as doing some international projects.
How busy are you in Georgia?
We are quite busy. Skate parks are really taking off here.
Why do you think so?
I think, again, just around the accessibility of the activity. Communities are finding out that this really works. Georgia has been a bit behind in action sport development, where it wasn't as popular, let's say, 10 years ago. But if you come over here, we've got a large skate park development we just did in Noonan, Georgia.
Wow, really? Wow, that's huge.
40,000 square feet, and it is now their keystone park of their community.
Now, is that one of the biggest that you've ever done?
It is one of the larger. We have done up to 70,000 square feet. We've got a brand new park opening in Birmingham, Alabama, just this week.
Really?
That is 70,000 square feet under an overpass. Takes up 3 city blocks, so it's
no
fairly
kidding,
substantial.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What kind of reception have you been getting at the GMA conference?
I mean, I love the GMA conference. Even just getting to be here in Savannah is nice, but always, super friendly. A lot of folks excited about recreation in general, with sort of the right mindset of building these spaces for their entire community. So it's always a positive interaction.
Do you think that, now that we're kind of coming out and COVID's kind of in the rearview mirror and people were kind of like really held up for a while because of the lockdowns, that there's more of an affinity to be outside?
100%, and I think the byproduct of COVID, what happened is as kids' programming shut down and their sports teams weren't active, kids needed something to do, they went outside. And that's why over the past 3 years, the sale for retail skateboards, bikes, and scooters has gone through the roof. It's because kids needed something to do.
Exactly.
And we now have a new priority on our outdoor public spaces. So that's really good for us. And ultimately, I think it's good for the community. We needed to get these kids outside anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit, if you can. how can folks get a hold of you? They may not be here at this, and they're watching it right now, and they were kind of thinking about, hey, that might be something that we should consider for Parks and Recreation Department, for our government. How can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Check out our website for sure, www.newlinescapeparks.com. Go to our website, check out some of the projects we've done. Portfolio, it's got a really easy link to contact us, or you can email me personally at projects@newlinescapeparks.com, and I typically get back within the day and get that conversation rolling.
Anything that I may have missed ever that you think is important folks should know?
No, other than, again, these are just highly accessible, easy to implement recreation facilities that, this is going to last the next 40 years in your community, and that's going to be a free and accessible amenity with little to no operations costs that now your full community is utilizing. So
one more time on the website, just so folks know.
www.newlinescapeparks.com.
Awesome. Good to meet you, Everett. Best of luck the rest of the weekend. If you want to get a skate park, this is the guy to talk to right here. We're going to head this way. Thank you again, Everett. We're going to head this way and talk to one other vendor here. Let's see. Still kind of crowded in here right now. Oh, we got food. Look at the cookies. Wow. Are those pretzels? I got to get some, maybe something to eat. They've got everything here. Everything you could possibly need, whether you're a private business, government. I don't need to tell you all how GMA is. It's phenomenal. We're going right here. We're at Gov Deals. And as you can see, we're very busy right now. And we're going to be talking to Jason in just a bit. But if you aren't here, I got to tell you, there is almost everything that you could need or want or thinking about here at the GMA conference. This is, as I said when we first started the show, this is my first show here. Excited. It's really the energy here. I'm sure that the entire program for the 2 days that you're here, there's so much that you can gain from. There's so much to offer. And we're going to be talking to Jason, one of Gov Deals, shortly. But again, if you look around, they've got everything you need. You've got Christmas decorations. We just interviewed Everett from a skate park. And we're about to be talking to Jason. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I am Robert with Chatham County. And talk to me about what is Gov Deals?
So Gov Deals is an online seller of government surplus. So anything that a government agency doesn't need anymore, whether it's desks and chairs or real estate, helicopters and airplanes, we auction that online on a site that works like eBay would.
Really?
Yeah.
And whereabouts are you guys located? Obviously, you're serving the entire state.
We are serving the entire state. We actually have 15,000 government agencies that we work with across the U.S. and Canada, but we're headquartered in Montgomery, Alabama. So we're a southern company.
Okay.
And GMA was one of the first partners that we had as a company when we started 20 years ago. And
All right.
So we've got about 650 clients here in the state of Georgia, including the Department of Administrative Services from the state, but about 199 clients right now that are cities.
You guys are busy.
We are. And there's 1,000 new assets every day that come onto the site that are sold, cars and trucks and backhoes and kitchen equipment too.
Why do you think it's important, and why do you think you have had the success that you've had?
I think what we do is two things. First, we've democratized surplus. So if you're the city's social circle or Osceola or something, there's nothing that you can do to attract a group of folks to come and look at your surplus assets. But online, your stuff sits there right along with Cobb County, Gwinnett County, and everybody that would have an easy time. So we can get it out in front of the right kind of bidders. And so within about 300 miles of Atlanta, we've got 250,000 registered bidders, and we know the kinds of stuff they're interested in. So if you're selling kitchen equipment from schools, we're going to that marketplace. If you've got backhoes and heavy equipment, we're going to that group of buyers. And so it drives revenue back into the local government agencies so that they can continue to provide the services that their citizens need.
You know, it sounds like you guys deal with a lot, you know, the products that you have are geographical, and I think that you could move, right?
Absolutely, and so a lot of our stuff will travel. We've got a lot of stuff that comes here to Savannah, gets put on a ship and goes overseas, because if you're in a third world country with third world gas, it won't run on a brand new Caterpillar even if you've got money to buy.
Wow.
But you can buy one that's 30 years old and it'll do great. And
Fantastic.
so you can do that kind of stuff. And then you've also got folks who are looking for unique items and older items, and they may have a tractor sitting out back that doesn't have an engine, and you've got one that's been rolled over 3 times but the engine's fine. And so we can get that stuff to move around to the right kinds of buyers, and it'll travel here regionally and even internationally.
I was going to say, you've got to have a lot of international clients too, I would assume.
We do, and the company that we work for actually has other agencies that does the same kind of stuff that we do, and so like one of them does oil and gas pipeline work internationally. So we've got international bidders across the world that are looking for different kinds of things. But even like with pickup trucks and that kind of stuff, if you've got an F-150 in Social Circle, you know, that has been well used and well cared for, but it doesn't have a decade's worth of road salt. So somebody from Indiana can come and can get a pickup truck that they can put a new engine in, whereas they can't buy it in Fort Wayne because it's going to be rusted out next year. And so a lot of stuff will travel all over the country and even all over the world.
Sounds like you guys are incredibly busy.
We are busy all the time.
I mean, if you're an international company that deals both locally and internationally, you'd have to be busy, and the amount of product that you have, it's innumerable.
Absolutely, and even we'll be this week working with the Tattnall County schools. They've got 2 new elementary schools that they are building. And so we're actually helping them sell the surplus, the desks and the chairs out of the old. And so folks will be coming to pick up the stuff this week, and they made about $80,000 just selling desks and chairs and kitchen equipment or something, the stuff for the school system. So there's always stuff going on the website.
You guys are like kind of a facilitator.
We are, absolutely. We're the go-between between the buyers and the sellers, and so we're going to help on both sides, because it takes both sides to make the money for the government agencies and for the communities. And so anything we can do to help facilitate that, we'll do.
Now, tell me again where you guys are located. I know you're globally, internationally, but where are you located?
Our headquarters is Montgomery, Alabama, but we've got folks in Atlanta, and I work from Alabama to cover Georgia and Alabama, and then we've got about 30 of me across the country and folks all over the place that are supporting. So.
Talk to me real quick about how GMA, the conference, has been. What kind of reception you've been getting?
It's great. We've been partners with GMA for a long time. And so folks, this is almost family reunion versus sales opportunity. So most of the folks that I know who we are, know what we do. And so we're just here continuing to support and ask questions about what they need and new things that we can provide for them. And so it's been really good to be here at GMA and to be involved and to get to continue to meet the people here.
You know, folks who may not be aware of what you do or where you are, how can they know? And the phone numbers, website?
So website is just govdeals.com, and my cell is 334-300-9591, and folks are welcome to call me. And I handle mostly the contracting side for the government agencies, but if somebody's interested in buying something, they can call me too, and I can help get them to the right people. But we're on Facebook and LinkedIn and all those kinds of places as well.
Awesome. Jason, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me today. I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, that's right. I'm standing here with Tim with Charles Abbott Associates on the convention floor. Tim, good to meet you, and talk to me a little bit about what Charles Abbott and Associates does.
Charles Abbott Associates, we provide building inspection professionals for cities and counties across the state of Georgia.
And we were talking a little bit about how many clients do you have currently?
We have one or two more than 30. I think it's like 31, 32, I think. Yeah.
Enough to keep you busy.
Very busy, yes sir. Yes, sir. A lot of construction going on in the
And
city.
I want you to talk to me like I'm a fifth grader. You guys are dealing with building departments, city engineering, compliance. What exactly can a government agency, municipal agency, benefit from you all?
Right. Well, most communities have trouble staffing some of the professional positions that are required to manage the growth that the communities are experiencing, and so we're able to provide that staff and that professionalism and those trained people that have experience in whatever it is, whether it's a new car manufacturing plant that may come to a community, or it could just be a housing development. But it's a lot of communities just don't have the staff on in house, and so we provide that staff for them.
How much of a need would you say that is statewide here in Georgia?
It's a huge need in the state of Georgia. It's just for just like a lot of industries, those professionals are getting more and more difficult to find.
Is that right?
And so we're able to, through outsourcing, we're able to bundle our the communities and build a team that we can share resources and bring them in for specific purposes.
Where exactly are you guys located, Tim?
We are we are near the airport.
By
Of Atlanta, yep,
okay.
Up in Atlanta, and we're in the process of moving our office actually to Cartersville.
Okay.
But we have contracts as far north as Adairsville and as far south as Albany.
And talk to me about how this weekend's been going for you guys. What kind of reception, what kind of feedback you've been getting, and what's your outreach?
Oh, it's actually been great. We've had quite a few of our existing clients stop by and say hello, and we've had some new and some that are interested in working with Charles Abbott.
So you're seeing some folks that you know, and you're meeting some new people.
Yes, sir.
And for those who are going to be watching this right now, or are going to be seeing this, how can they get a hold of you all? What's the best way?
The best way to contact us is www.caa.inc, caa.inc.
CAA.inc. I'm talking with Tim here at Charles Abbott Associates. He's the man with a plan. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, and good luck the rest of the weekend. Okay. We're going to be heading this way. We're going to be talking to Steve at USA Shade, and I think it's this way. That was my producer. She's the best. I'd be nothing without her right now. She is the one who keeps me in line, even though the guys behind the counter are going to have to behind the camera are going to really have to edit this. I'm making them work today. I really am making them work today. But it's fun. It's all fun because we're meeting good people. They're providing great services. And folks you may not know, like Steve from USA Shade. Steve? Robert, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
How are you, sir?
Not bad.
Talk to me a little bit about what USA Shade is.
We are a manufacturer of tension fabric shade sail systems. So anything that needs to be covered, as far as out in the sun and being hot. And this is a great time for shade, right?
This is time for shade.
I've been telling people if I can't sell shade this time of year, that I shouldn't be in selling. So,
that's exactly right.
But so it's anything that has to do with covering hot spaces. So like in municipal parks, where you've got ball fields and a lot of people sitting on bleachers, we're covering those. Amphitheaters, like if there's a place for open air arenas, for concerts and things like that, we're covering those types of facilities. Again, basically anything that needs to be covered just to be cooler and being out of the sun.
So you not only deal with, government entities, but private businesses as well, I would assume?
Yeah, I mean...
You name it.
I mean, anything under the sun, right? I mean, it's basically what it comes
down
to.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, because we have a division where we're doing a lot of automobile manufacturing facilities and car lots, where it's outside and we're dealing with hail in certain areas of the country. And then, of course, here in the state, a lot of municipalities, it's the parks, open green space. Again, it's just anywhere where it's hot.
How has this weekend been so far for you all? What's the feedback you've been getting, and what kind of impact do you think you're making?
This is always a good show for us. The people who attend this conference are forward-thinking. They're city leaders. They're always looking for something that's innovative. They hear what their residents are saying, and they come to us. And they know that we're the ones that can provide them the relief from the sun.
Where are you guys located?
We're a manufacturer that's located in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and I make my home here as a regional sales manager in Peachtree City.
Well, it gets hot in Dallas, too.
Yes, yeah.
Now, if folks want to know more about USA Shade, how can they get a hold of you? What do they need to know? Tell the folks how they can get a hold of you guys.
Well, the best place, obviously, is the web. USA Shade, USA-shade.com is the best source for us. We're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, so all of those social media, YouTube. We've got some great footage on some of our places that we've done shade structures, so that's the best way to reach us.
Awesome. Steve, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Good luck, and stay in the shade.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
We are going to be walking this way, talking to some more folks. As I said before, there is everything that you could possibly want in a municipal government, county government, and private, public. We're going to be talking right now with Malden Jenkins, CPA and advisors. How are you, sir? Will?
Doing well.
Will, come on out here. My name's Robert. Good to meet you. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Tell me a little bit about what you all do. I think I have an idea of CPAs and advisors.
Yeah, you probably have an idea. So we're a CPA firm and headquartered out of Atlanta, but we have offices all throughout Georgia, including now Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee as well. So we work on many of the different cities, local municipalities, county governments, all throughout the Southeast, and we provide audit, tax, recently been expanded to add more advisory type of services and consultation. So we're kind of a full-scale, growing accounting firm, and we do a lot, but certainly do a lot of city and county audits.
I was going to ask you, what percentage would you say is city and county as far as maybe, private business?
Oh.
Is it the bulkhead of what you guys do?
So we have, throughout the firm, several different kind of major niches. Our government niche is, gosh, I couldn't tell you exactly. In Atlanta, that's probably maybe 20 to 25% of our total.
So enough to keep you really busy.
Oh yeah. All year round with clients that end in the end of June, to September and December, and we're working year round.
Why should they consider, Malden Jenkins?
Well, we have a lot of technical expertise. We really work hard on keeping up with the latest accounting standards and just really making a concerted effort to do the most quality work that we can. So, we don't just say that. That's the truth.
And you guys are located again where?
Atlanta, Savannah now.
Oh, you do have an office in Savannah?
We do.
Okay.
It's a smaller office. Macon, Albany.
You're all over the state.
Bradenton, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
Columbia, South Carolina. I feel like I'm leaving. I'm leaving one out, but
that's all right.
Yeah.
How has this weekend gone for you guys so far, and what kind of feedback you've been getting?
Yeah, it's going really well. See a lot of some familiar faces, familiar names, and
I assume this is your first year here.
This is my personal first year here, but Josh, we've been here for a long time, I think, as a firm. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And if folks want to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
We just go to njcpa.com, our website. If they know any personal or have clients that use us personally, they can just get a referral and find any of our partners. Or
easy phone number again?
Phone number? Well, let's see. Pamphlet's probably going to.
That's okay.
The most.
But this is obviously for the folks who aren't here. The best way is the website?
I'd say so.
The best way is the website?
That'd be the website, yeah.
Okay. Will, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the weekend. Catherine, I understand that you have Chris Bass from GRPA with you right now. I'm going to toss it back to you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you for the wonderful job that you're doing out there. There's a lot of great vendors, and those cookies looked amazing. Bring me back a cookie. Chris, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you for the invite.
So tell me, what is GRPA?
Okay, so Georgia Recreation and Parks Association is our member organization for parks and recreation professionals around the state of Georgia. GRPA provides training opportunities, grant resources, other professional development opportunities for recreation professionals in the state, and we just try to help build communities through recreation. So also serving as the advocate for local communities.
Right, and I'm gonna say something here that's probably people are gonna go, oh, really? She went there. Parks and recreation is so important to our community. Tell me why it's so important.
Yeah, Parks and Recreation is definitely an essential service. We saw it a lot throughout the pandemic when the indoor facilities were closed. We were still able to go to parks. So parks they connect people, places, and bridge gaps within communities. So Parks and Recreation is definitely an essential service.
And I think probably because of the pandemic, it was one of the few places that people could go and feel like that they could go. And whether it was out walking around or whether it was playing basketball out on a court. I know some of ours here locally, you can go and you can fish, those kinds of things. So it's so important to the mental health for people.
Right.
But I know it put a lot on our Parks and Recs personnel.
Right.
Have you guys been addressing that with your membership?
Yes, we have. So providing our members the resources they need to advocate for themselves, advocate for funding and resources. It's not an easy job. And we feel that we are just as important as your police department, your public safety. We save lives. So it's a bigger piece of the pie in terms of public safety. But we are able to do some of the same things through grassroots approaches through Parks and Recreation.
And I, when you said that, it made me think both for the city of Savannah here and for the county, which I'm a part of, it's a priority for our commission and our council to make sure that our parks are a place where people can go, where our youth can go, because it does divert from other problems. And as you said, it was as important as public safety. And sometimes that's very true because they have a place to go. They have diversions beyond, just being at home and getting into trouble and stuff like that. Right. So that's one of the reasons why it is so important. What else would you want people to know about GRPA?
So GRPA is here for all communities, cities, counties, big and small. We're here. We are able to provide the resources that you need to really serve your community. So.
That's amazing. So I know you're here representing GRPA, but you're also from Douglasville.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what you got going on in Douglasville. Is there something wonderful happening there?
Yeah. So in Douglasville, we have a lot of dirt moving. With a lot in terms of projects. We developed an equity plan a few years ago to really address some underserved areas in Douglasville. So we've been able to, by support of our city council, renovate several of our parks. We've just passed a $25 million bond referendum.
Wow.
So we'll be building a new senior center, a new community center, new gymnasium, a 5,200 square foot zero entry swimming pool.
Wow.
So we're super excited about that. We'll be hoping to break ground here in August.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to come up and see that. That's going to be amazing. How long will it take for that facility to be completed?
So we're thinking 18 to 24 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about average for a build right now. So.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for being here with me. I really appreciate you. We just dragged you in. So we're going to let you get back to looking around at all these great vendors. I know, Robert, you're out there. You're at Georgia Airports Association.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Thank you, Catherine. I am. I'm standing here with Jim from the Georgia Airports Association. Jim, how are you doing? How's things going this weekend?
I'm doing well. It's great to be back in Savannah for GMA.
Obviously, this isn't your first time. How many times you guys been here?
This is probably our 5th or 6th year that we've been supporting this conference.
Talk to me and the folks who are watching a little bit about Georgia Airports Association. Why is it important?
It's an association of like-minded individuals that love aviation, love airports. We all love what we do. And so we're not only a close-knit family, if you will, of where we can share information about airports and maybe a situation in an airport, but we also represent the interests of what we think are all the airports in Georgia to the state legislature on needs of airports, primarily financial needs of the airports during the legislative session, working with the budget and things like that.
We were talking a little bit about how, it doesn't matter how big or small the airport is, you service them.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And why do you think that's important, and what do folks need to know about that importance of what you do?
Just to know that they have a voice, even if they're a lot of times at some of the smaller airports they don't have a full-time manager, so somebody at the city or the county's additional duty is to oversee the airport. Well, but we can help them in that representation, and sometimes where they can't do it themselves. If we are made known about an issue or a problem that they have or a concern, then we can tap the knowledge base of the membership, or then we can also take it forward to GDOT and also to the legislature.
So you work closely with GDOT?
We do.
Okay. What kind of reception have you guys been getting? Obviously, you said this is your first year. It's your sixth year, I think you said?
So, that I've been involved.
That you've been here. Tell me about what kind of feedback you've been getting from the folks.
Actually, very, very positive. We have a conference a year. In fact, this year it's going to be here in Savannah at the DeSoto. DeSoto. And we try to make those very informative for our members. And then, so we're always seeking sponsorships for those to help us to put on an even better conference.
Right.
And it's very good. So we have the information sessions, but they also have a networking session, typically on a Thursday afternoon, where we'll do something more socially oriented, so we get to know each other on a personal basis. Because, a lot of times, regardless of your business, it's the interpersonal relationship that's really what makes it go.
That's right. And when is that conference again?
This year it's in October.
October. So if folks can't make it to that, but they want more information about what Georgia Airports Association does, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can Google Georgia Airports Association. It'll pop up. We also have a Facebook page that we try to keep up to date with things, but Georgia Airports Association, and it'll pop up with information on about the conferences, about how to join, about who we are, and those sorts of things.
And we real quick, we were talking about how you don't have a basic hub where you're located. You have the ability of going all over the state.
That's right. And in fact, I happen to be one of the board members of the Georgia Airports Association. And when we meet, we actually will meet at an airport somewhere in the state on a Thursday, and then we'll go to another airport that's nearby on a Friday to have our board meetings. And it try to get us around out through the various parts of the state. Our manager happens to be located in Savannah, but there's no requirement.
Jim, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to me today. Good luck with the rest of this weekend, and I'm sure you're going to be helping a lot of people along the way. Thank you. Catherine, I understand that you have two more guests that you're going to take the time to talk to, and I'll toss it back to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you for the amazing job that you and Nia and Chris have done out there today. It's been great to hear about all these different vendors. I am back here on set. I've got Phil and Aileen here with me. We're going to talk a little bit about training. I mean, we've kind of alluded to in almost every interview that we've done, everything that we've talked about today, about the training and networking that goes on at this conference. So let's talk training. Why do we do training? And what do you offer?
So our training is through the Harold F. Holtz Municipal Training Institute, and it's operated through a partnership with the Carl Vinson Institute of Government at the University of Georgia. And we offer about 70 plus classes in our curriculum. We offer them through GMA conferences here in Savannah, in Atlanta in January, and some standalone events. And we also put on the Newly Elected Officials Institute, which is a state-mandated course over a couple of days, once or twice a year. And so that's pretty much it. And our training board oversees our program.
Okay. And I know that, coming from the county side, I know that my commissioners are required to take a certain amount of training. I assume the same is going to be for municipal council folks, yes?
Yep. We have state-mandated training. First, I should say,
I mean, it doesn't happen without Aileen Harris, who is the training coordinator at GMA. So, it's a proper introduction for her. She's really the wheel behind the machine that kind of makes everything go. I'm just an elected official and her puppet, and she
amazing. He's amazing.
I just do what she tells me to do. So let's just clear that up right away. I'm a council member for the city of Statesboro, and so I'm currently the chair of the municipal training board. So you asked about mandated training. Certainly we do. There is state mandated newly elected training for officials, and so every other year there's 2 trainings. Because a lot of turnover, especially over the last 4 years. We've had 400 or 500 new elected officials statewide that have to go to training, and they kind of drink from the fire hose. It's a day and a half, 90-minute sessions, fire, police, public safety, open records, open meetings, law, finance, and they really come away with a different view than a candidate, especially if they're new folks.
Right. And outside of that, we have a voluntary training program, but you do earn certificates. And so there's some requirements to earn our certificates. We have 5 levels of certificates. And we'll be presenting over 100 on Monday during our award ceremony.
Wow, that's great. I know, again, from my commissioners that there's classes that they take kind of like as continuing education. And then some of them will have certain things that are really important to them, and they will get certified in them. So it sounds like it's kind of...
It's similar. Not quite the same, but it's very similar.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So is it only elected officials?
It's similar to the county, but just a little bit better.
Okay, I can
Well
go
put,
with
sir.
that.
Well put.
I have worked for municipal government and I have worked for county government, so I can
Say
understand.
the same thing, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's but it isn't only elected officials, right?
It's also city managers, assistant city managers, city administrators. Sometimes we have clerks. Sometimes we have finance directors. Sometimes we have HR. But for the most part, most of our students are mayors and council members, but we do allow other city officials to attend our training.
So if I were a city manager or one of those other people, what kind of classes would I be taking?
Gosh. Well, if you're new, you're going to be taking, newly elected officials, or you're going to be taking our basic required courses. Those are going to be things like open records, open meetings, finance, law, your basic bread and butter classes. After you get up there a little bit, we have an advanced leadership track. We have advanced downtown development training, and then the cool ones, if we can talk about the cool stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk about cool stuff.
Especially since we're here in Savannah. One of the fun ones, they call it an on-site workshop. And the one that's always a fan favorite here in Savannah is taking a tour of the port. So, if any of the elected officials throughout the state haven't had an opportunity to take a tour of the port, they absolutely should, because it is mind-boggling to see not just how much stuff comes in and out, but the amazing coordination. It's a symphony out there. There is moving parts. It is like a giant clock, just stuff moving around out there. So as an elected official, you go out and see that kind of thing and go, oh, okay.
And you see how it impacts your city.
That's right.
Even if you're not in Savannah, it impacts every city to get those that freight moving across the state.
Right, absolutely. I mean, our port here is, I believe, the 3rd largest on the East Coast. It may even be the 2nd largest now.
It's 2 or 4 if you're looking at exports, imports. And,
it flip-flops, but, I hear really good things.
Pretty much top 5 across the board, and it's nothing to sneeze at, for sure.
No, not at all. So I'm going to ask a kind of a really silly softball question here, but what does this kind of training do to help run the cities? Does it keep things smoother?
I think so.
Am I supposed to answer that?
I think you should.
Oh, okay. Well, again, you got your basic classes. Many people that run for office, I mean, they, bless their heart, all of them, they all have good intentions, but most of us, quite frankly, when you get into office, don't, especially in some of the more complex cities that have, some of them have electric co-ops or natural gas, you have water and sewer, you've got trash pickup, you've got stormwater now, so now you got climate change. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider, not to mention now housing development, growth. How do we accommodate that? I already said economic development.
You didn't, but yes.
You can't ever say economic development too much. But you see what I'm getting at.
Community development.
What's that?
Community development.
Hey, all kinds of development. But I mean, there's so many different facets to city, and coming to training and hearing from, the experts at Carl Vinson, our experts at GMA, the staff at GMA that we have legal staff, and the staff better than I do, so I'm going to tip that back over to her. But we rely on GMA and Carl Vinson a lot to help us give us the information that we need to go back and make the decisions and look at our town critically and analytically and make good decisions.
And a lot of city officials don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And so you come to newly elected, like Phil said, it's like a fire hose. But then you go to these classes and you can get more detail, more in depth, and learn more about all the things you need to know to operate your city smoothly. So I absolutely think coming to training helps your city run better.
And you said you're the public information officer for a county, right?
Right.
So there can be personality conflicts amongst the individuals that may. I mean, I know there's a lot of kumbaya, but there's a lot of personality conflicts.
Sure.
So, side note, something to be said about GMA and conference and training. One of the things is you get to sit around with other folks that have similar problems, and sometimes it's learning, sometimes it's a little bit of therapy. Usually it's a little bit of both. But you get to talk with folks that are having problems in other towns in a more honest and direct way than you sometimes can in your own community. So, and training facilitates a lot of those discussions.
Absolutely. We always say the peer-to-peer learning is just as important as learning from the subject matter experts.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, when Larry was here a little while ago, we were kind of talking about that, and I said, it's great when a consultant comes in and teaches a class, but when my peer teaches the class and they understand what I'm going through and I understand what they're going through, it's even better. So who decides what gets taught?
It's me again?
I'll let you go. You take it and I'll fill in.
Well, it's a combination of things, really. Well, again, I'm the chair of the Municipal Training Board. So the Municipal Training Board is made up of members from the 12 GMA districts plus 3 at-large members. They're appointed by the director of the Carl Vinson Institute of Government, of course, in consultation with GMA staff. I think I read that off the card.
I taught you well.
Didn't I? Okay, good. That being said, the requests come in from all over the place. Sometimes they come in from cities. Every single class that we do, they fill out a form, and Aileen and her staff take every single comment and put them in a database and give them to the training board, so we see hundreds and hundreds of comments. And then they take those comments and aggregate them, and we're like, okay, we need a class on homelessness, or we need a class on crypto, or we need a class on, and she'll talk about the new ones that are coming down the pike, and then it comes to the board and we discuss it, and then we turn to Carl Vinson, our professional educator partners, and we rely on them to create the core content and really do the digging and the hard work that's necessary to put on a 3 or a 6 hour class.
So he kind of alluded to my next question. I thought he was going to take it from me, and that is, what's coming down the pike? What's new?
Well, our curriculum committee has approved to move forward to the full training board, which meets on tomorrow. So we have 4 new classes they're looking at. One is on data literacy and storytelling. It really exposes city officials to data, how to use data to tell stories, and how to use data to make sound decisions. Also on strengthening children and youth, strengthening their well-being, and really exposing city officials to the tools and resources they can use to help their children and their communities live up to their best potential and become responsible adults. Another one is going to be a revamp of our emergency management class, and it's called kind of guiding cities through the storm. Mm-hmm. As we know, living through a pandemic, that crises will come, and how does cities plan for crises? Because they will come, and you have to plan for that. And then, as you know, you have to have a communications plan. Right. You have to have a business continuity plan. So all that's going to be put into place. And then the final one is on branding and marketing. And then, helping cities identify their assets and their tools to highlight in their community and how to have a consistent branding messaging. So those are the things we're going to be put in front of the training board. If they approve it, we'll see it on our curriculum next year in 2023.
That's awesome. I'm super excited for your training. I just want to come join all your training, especially those last 2 classes that you just mentioned. I'm like, how can I weasel my way into those? So
I think we allow county people, but with a 10% surcharge.
There you go. There you go. I like the way you think. Well, thank you guys so very
you for
much
having
for
us.
being here with me. Any last thoughts on training that you want to get out there before we wrap up for the
Yes,
day?
we have 2 events coming up. Our fall training will be at Brasstown Valley Resort in Young Harris, very close to Hiawassee, and also our Robert E. Knox Municipal Leadership Institute, which is a multi-day course. And Phil loves to talk about it. I want him to tell you, if he has a couple minutes, to just say what's been great about the Knox Leadership Institute.
Well, again, I mentioned the Port of Savannah. Those workshops, those hands-on type classes are always my favorite because they really give you a behind-the-scenes look. But from a personal note, the most transformative thing for me was the Knox Leadership Institute. Now, as Aileen mentioned, it's for elected officials that typically have about 50 hours of continuing education, and then they go to this leadership. It's a 3.5 day. You go through a poverty simulation that really fundamentally changes how you see society, how you work together. And for me personally, I mean, it really was a personal transformation as well as a transformation for GMA. Suddenly I've got 40, 45 people that I spent 3.5 days with, intense training, talking about cities, really, and really examining our own reactions to each other. And then, getting to take that back to your cities and then come to conference and see those same people,
Right.
You people know who I'm talking about right here. So those are my folks. If I saw them out there, they would give me the sign.
Right.
And I only say that jokingly because you end up now, you have kind of this little brotherhood or this little family that you come to conference, you see them. Some fall off just like any other family, but it creates this core that now when you come to conference, you have some people you can talk to. You've had shared experience.
Sure.
And, and they pick them from all over the state. So big cities, small cities, whatever, but that particular class, again, for me, it made me look at how I serve differently. It made me look at GMA differently, and it really made me look at myself differently.
That's awesome. That kind of training is just, you can't even put dollars behind that because it brings so much to the community. Thank you guys so much for being here. Join us again tomorrow for Live in the Hall. We'll be going live right around noon tomorrow. I would be remiss if I did not thank all the people that are behind the scenes today. Chris and Jason and Steve, and of course Nia, who is our producer today, and Robert, who is out there. Thank you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for joining us today.